Now, on this topic, we're going to start talking about saving tips, budgeting, and down payment, which is a really important process or part of the home buying process and journey that we need to do. So the best thing that I would recommend to people is set up like a monthly budget, right? Sit down, get a pad of paper, sit down with your spouse, partner, or loved one, or by yourself if you're single, and then work with exactly what's coming in, could be from income, could be any different sources of income that's coming in, and then kind of make like a detailed list of what's coming out. And that includes everything. It could go down to as much as how much you're spending on coffee per month, or your movie tickets, your entertainment, all that stuff, and look to see exactly what you are saving at the end of the month. That to me is a good indicator to see what you can actually technically put away that can help towards your down payment. Now, you don't need to save up all your down payment, because we'll talk about this further in this topic, is there are assistance programs that we could talk about, things that kind of help supplement that part of it. But it's really important, you need to have somewhat of your own savings, right? And then the budget is so key, is because when you are looking at the home buying process, that budget is going to help you decide what you can afford. So the budget to me would be the very first thing that you want to talk about. So let's say you do that, you've worked out your budget, you're saving X amount of dollars per month, which is great. What do you do next? Next, what I would sit down and say, listen, how much am I short? So you found the perfect home, you found the style that you're looking for, you found the amount that you're looking for. Minimum requirements now in Canada is 5% down payment, right? So that's the minimum that's required. You need to come up with that from technically your sources, meaning there's going to be, we'll speak about what your sources can be, but minimum 5% is going to be required. So you've talked about it in budgeting. Let's say I'm 6 to 7 months away from buying my home. I can save, let's say, $500 per month. That gets me so much closer, but I'm still going to be short. What are available? A lot of people don't know this, but you might be working for an employer, and sometimes employers have something called an RSP contribution that they do, which is kind of like a matchup. So if you haven't done that, maybe look into your benefits package, talk to your employer, go onto your HR website to see what's available. You might not even know it. You might have RSPs already sitting there from years that you've been contributing towards that now are available towards down payment, and you might not even need to save. That's one thing. But let's say you don't have an RSP contribution limit. What should you do? If your employer has one, start one right away, right? They might have an RSP contribution program. They might have something called an employee share ownership one, if it's like a publicly traded company, where they take parts of your paycheck and it goes into an RSP account, savings account, or an employee stock ownership account. That to me is an easier way to save, because almost like it's just mandatory savings. It comes out of your paycheck, you don't even think about it, you don't feel it, and it starts to build up over time. And then the employer matches it, which is almost like it's free money. So it's not like, there's no reason why you shouldn't be doing something like that. Now let's say, for example, your employer doesn't have any of these programs. What do you do? Next thing I would do is definitely go into your bank and open up something called an RSP daily interest account, depending on how far your home ownership plans are or your goals are. And do the exact same thing. Say, listen, I want X amount of dollars, which is comfortable based on the budget that I had worked. I want that to come right out of my account on a certain given day, goes right into my RSP account, so I don't even feel it. Comes right off the bat, mandatory savings. Don't even feel, which is what we call in the industry dollar cost averaging, which is a great way to save, because it's coming out and you're putting more money over time, and it just builds up a lot quicker over time, right? That's another way to do it. And another really good option is called borrow down payment. So a lot of lenders have this program, a lot of insurance companies have this program, where you can actually borrow your down payment as long as you can afford to make the payment on what you're borrowing and on your mortgage. So everything will have to kind of work into your ratios. So a borrowed down payment can come from many different ways. It could come from, let's say, an unsecured line of credit that you might have or you can apply for. It can come from a loan that, once again, you can apply for. A lot of banks actually have something called an RSP loan, where you can actually borrow money to put towards your RSPs and get that tax credit that you need, and then use that for your down payment as well, tax-free. So a lot of options available for borrow down. And then just talk to your lender when you are ready about the borrow down payment. Let's say you have some assets that you don't need, right? Here's another really great way of saving for down payment. Let's say you got 2 cars. You don't really need 2 cars, you only need the 1 car. Maybe sell the car and see how much money you can technically get from it, right? Because home ownership to me is one of the most important things that you can do for yourself, right? So maybe cut back on some few luxuries that you think you might not need, and to get into a home, right? Getting into the home is probably the most rewarding thing that you can do for yourself. Selling assets are a really good one. Investments are really good. RSPs we've already talked about. You can take RSPs out as a first-time home buyer tax-free. So the way RSPs work is that every time you contribute towards RSPs, the government actually, to kind of promote you putting money into your retirement, to actually give you money back at the end. So you get something like a tax credit. It's something that you could definitely talk to your accountant about to see how that would work in your situation. But first-time homebuyers are the only ones that can take RSPs out in this scenario tax-free. Another scenario that you can take RSPs out is under the lifelong learning plan. Don't really have to do anything with this, but for first-time homebuyers, it's perfect. Take it out tax-free. You don't even feel any implications, and it's available to you. Another great source of down payment is getting it gifted from a loved one or a family member. It could be from mom and dad, it could be from grandpa and grandma. Usually we joke about in the industry, it's called the bank of mom and dad, but yeah, they've been a great source of helping, right? They've helped you all your life. You can definitely speak to them and say, listen, we've started this exciting journey of getting into our home. We just need some assistance with the down payment, and see what's available, right? Something that you can definitely have a conversation about, and it might be a lot easier than you think, right? Just sitting down with them, explain to them that you are now moving on to the next stage of your life, and I'm sure your loved ones and your family members will be really happy to kind of help you with that next stage of your life and then move on with you with them. Now, some builders that you might want to work with, like for example, like Brookfield, they actually have something called down payment assistance programs, where technically what they do is that they don't want all the down payment up front, so they'll take it from you in installments. Once again, a lot easier to come up with it over time while you're doing your build, because you lock in your price today, you lock your home today, but then you can pay your down payment over a period of time that's more comfortable for your budget. It could be over 10 months, 12 months, whatever you can work out with the builder. So a lot of different reasons to get, there's a lot of ideas, and there's a lot of ways to get down payment. So it's not just one source of way, a lot of ways to get help.